Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
President Trump says he's hoping to avoid a war with Iran, but tensions between the two countries continue to rise. I'm Mark Liverman with more on politicians who say they hope it isn't too late to avoid a confrontation.
I'll tell you about this new monument dedicated to 18 Butte peace officers killed in the line of duty.
Just ahead of 6:30 on this Friday, Chet Lehman with you here. Missy O'Malley is off today. Matt Elwell has our forecast in a moment. Our top story this half hour, despite President Trump's hope that the United States doesn't enter into war with Iran, tensions continue to rise between the two countries. Congressional lawmakers are demanding more information about the threat Iran poses before it's too late. CBS's Mark Liverman has more.
President Trump is hoping tensions with Iran subside.
Mr. President, are we going to war with Iran? Hope not.
He told Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan the same thing. He does not want war with Iran. However, the American military buildup in the Persian Gulf region continues. The carrier strike group headed by the USS Lincoln has arrived in the Arabian Sea south of Iran. U.S. intelligence officials claim they have evidence of credible threats, including satellite photos of ballistic missiles loaded on Iranian boats to possibly strike targets on land. On Thursday, the White House briefed a group of top congressional leaders known as the Gang of Eight on that intelligence.
And I would hate for this to be a self-fulfilling prophecy.
House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff is one of them.
These efforts to ratchet up pressure on Iran with no guide path to where this is supposed to lead us is leading us, in fact, to a very dangerous place.
Classified briefings will be given to the rest of Congress on Tuesday.
I'm hoping it's not too late, literally.
I would tell the administration you should pick up the phone and call members of Congress so that we don't have a microphone put in our face, ask us about why you're doing something and we have no clue.
Tensions with Iran have escalated over the past year, ever since President Trump pulled the U.S. out of the Iran nuclear deal. Mark Liverman, CBS News.
Now, in an interview with CBS News, Iran's ambassador to the United Nations said the U.S. has, quote, fake intelligence, end quote. In other media interviews, he said Iran is not interested in escalating tensions, but has the right to defend itself. So more to follow on that coming up at 7 o'clock on CBS This Morning.
All right.
Matt, a little soggy out there and chilly.
Yeah, a little drippy outside when you step out. Looks like you're going to need the umbrellas at times today, and maybe some heavy rain showers as well. The temperatures aren't bad. It's just going to be damp as you're starting the day. Off and on showers already moving through the area. You can see some wet roadways out there. From time to time, it looks like we're going to be dealing with scattered showers that will be heavy through the afternoon and evening. We'll talk about our chances of seeing some snow mixing into this before it's all said and done in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. 6:31, a disturbing story this morning of a murder in Chicago. A 19-year-old pregnant woman choked to death, her baby boy cut out of her womb. Now 3 people are in jail facing charges in connection to her brutal killing. Police say the break in this case was a clue from one of Marla Ochoa's friends that led them to a Facebook page and then right to the suspects. As Megan Hickey reports, police say Ochoa and one of the suspects had met before to exchange baby clothes.
Words really cannot express how disgusting and thoroughly disturbing these allegations are.
Chicago police say these 3 people are responsible for luring 19-year-old Marlene Ochoa to their home and cutting her baby from her body. 46-year-old Clarissa Figueroa and her 24-year-old daughter Desiree are charged with murder. Police say Desiree Figueroa.
She confesses that she assisted her mother strangling Marlon.
Clarissa Figueroa's boyfriend, Pietro Bobak, is charged with concealing Ochoa's death. Police say they found her body on the suspect's property in a covered garbage can.
The device used to strangle Marlon is also recovered along with other items in that garbage can.
Ochoa vanished without a trace April 23rd. Nothing until May 7th, when Superintendent Eddie Johnson says detectives got a big break after one of Ochoa's friends mentioned she'd been on this Facebook page, chatting with Figueroa about picking up some baby clothes. The conversation, a neighborhood, a date, all in black and white, leading detectives to Figueroa's Scottsdale home.
They talk to Desiree for a while, and they're able to kind of solicit from Desiree, well, where's your mom at? My mom's at the hospital. Well, how come? She had some issues with her legs. And then they continue to talk to her, and Desiree says, well, my mom also did just deliver a baby.
Deputy Chief Brendan Denahan says red flags went up, police found Ochoa's car nearby, and went to interview Clarissa Figueroa, who was at Advocate Christ Hospital with the baby she claimed was hers.
The caller gave birth 10 minutes ago, 46 years of age. The baby isn't breathing. The baby is pale and blue. They're doing CPR.
There, in that call to paramedics on April 23rd.
The detectives on the 7th of May, they do go to the hospital and they do a basic interview with our offender, Clarissa. She denies that Marlon came to the house on the 23rd of April, but she did admit to knowing Marlon and meeting her in the past.
Denahan says DNA tests prove Figueroa wasn't the baby's mother and determined Ochoa's husband was the baby's father. They got a warrant, searched the house, and arrested the 3 suspects Tuesday. Asked why police didn't find that Facebook page sooner.
They were looking at her social media accounts, but remember, this is a 19-year-old woman. If you know 19-year-olds like I do, they have a ton of social media stuff. So unless somebody points you in the right direction from the onset, it takes time to go through all that stuff.
Now we're told the suspects will appear before a judge later today. That baby boy, by the way, is on life support right now, has no brain activity. It was an emotional day yesterday in southwest Montana. In an emotional ceremony in Butte, police unveiled a memorial to the peace officers killed while serving the mining city. TN's John Amy tells us how Butte Violence Pass took the lives of so many officers.
Butte law enforcement Thursday honored the 18 peace officers who died in the line of duty in more than a century of service to the community. The donated memorial was placed next to Butte's law enforcement headquarters on Alaska Street and is a reminder of the sacrifices these officers made.
I obviously never knew any of the people who are carved here on the stone. But I think it's safe to assume that every single one of them left their home and went to work here in Butte Silver Bow with every expectation that they would be returning to home at the end of their tour. Yet none of them ever returned home to their loved ones again.
Each name on the monument was read aloud.
Policeman Bart J. McCarthy, Butte Police Department. End of watch, Saturday, July 22nd, 1916. Police Officer Joseph E. Sage.
Butte holds the record in Montana for the most officers killed.
You know, during the turn of the century and before, Butte was a rough and tumble town, and we had over 100,000 people. Law enforcement at that time was a hazardous profession, as you can see, and we've been lucky so far in the last 80 years that we've had no more, or haven't had any other fatalities.
This memorial stands as a testament to Butte's violent past, where a father and a son who both chose to be police officers and sadly met the same fate 11 years apart.
The father was he was out serving a warrant, and he was killed in an accident while trying to serve that warrant. His son was shot and killed trying to apprehend an armed suspect.
A place of honor in Butte. John Amy, MTN News.
John tells us several local businesses donated their time and labor to build that monument. Now, 2 years ago Thursday, Broadwater County Sheriff Deputy Mason Moore was killed while on patrol near Three Forks. Yesterday morning, friends, family, and members of law enforcement gathered at the site as a sign was unveiled designating the Mason Moore Memorial Highway. I was there 2 years ago and yesterday. Here's the sights and sounds of yesterday's emotional ceremony.
Be with us, Lord, as we take time to honor and dedicate this spot, the spot where he gave his life for us.
We should have picked a different day. 2 years ago, at this time, this was a different scene. And it's hard to stand here. It's hard to stand here and not remember.
So the dedication of this highway will serve as a reminder to everyone who travels it of the service and the ultimate sacrifice Mason made protecting the citizens of Broadwater County and the state of Montana.
Sheriff Meehan contacted me, asked me to sponsor this bill, House Bill 156, to dedicate this spot of remembrance.
It has now been 2 years since Mason was killed here, and the man that planned his ambush still has not had to answer for his actions. That is not acceptable and is disgusting and devastating to me.
I stand at the spot where my friend, my brother, gave his life to protect me, to protect us.
It's not the way I want to remember Mason.
That sign is located at mile marker 109 on US Highway 287 near Three Forks. We're going to take a quick break.